Jackie, I'd like to be exactly where you are right now with my blankets up to here. Oh my God, we were up until like 2 a.m. last night. And then for some reason, usually the baby's been sleeping pretty well, but she like woke up and she was crying and like I couldn't settle her. He was trying to settle her. And so I think we probably got like 2 hours of sleep, which is horrible. I'd like to be laying in bed. Maybe we should do a Zoom from bed one day. Zoom from bed. Hi, everyone. Thanks for hopping on and sharing your energy. I know that tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I'm sure everyone's going to be busy. What are your guys's, yeah, I don't know if it's a sleep regression. I don't know, 16 months. I know there's one at 18 months, but what are your guys' plans for Thanksgiving and who wants to adopt us for Thanksgiving? Maybe teething, but I think that she was just hungry because then after he made her a bottle, like it seemed like she drank milk and she just went to sleep. So I think she just needs like more fattening stuff to eat at night. What are you guys all doing today? What are you guys all doing tomorrow? Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I didn't know you had a Star Wars hoodie on.
You always copy what I wear. You always do. Sometimes you look at me and you're like, oh, what are you wearing? What color are you wearing? And then you go and pick your outfit based off of me.
No, I don't.
Sometimes you do though. And sometimes we just like walk out and we look at each other and we're like, do you guys get that too? With your significant other or like maybe like your family or just someone that you live with where you walk out and you look at each other and you're like, you copied me.
Only reason why I'm wearing this, yeah,
Hi.
my hair is a mess. I used to. All right.
I'm just looking at Jackie. She looks so cozy. I literally want to just fly over and jump in.
Oh, yeah.
I still have to shake.
Oh,
Did you shake?
no, forgot. Psych, I didn't forget. It's just that I needed to set up the Zoom.
He literally just rolled out.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I have a topic for you actually for today.
Awesome.
Even when my ex with the kids for lunch and we matched. That's funny. All right. So obviously it was F1 weekend this past weekend. Kind of crazy in Vegas. But we can talk about like three different topics actually. And you already said it before too. It's like one is energy, right? Like how do you muster up energy when you need it the most and you show up and you show out, right? That's one. Uh, the second thing is, networking, right? Like connections are everything. Relationships are everything. And so if you have the opportunity to show up to an event, right? There's always going to be other people that you may or may not align with, but there's synergy. There's synergy because they may know someone who knows someone that needs you. Does that make sense? And then the third thing is speaking, right? The benefits of being a speaker, the benefits of being able to get on stage, the benefits of being able to share your story, sharing your message with anyone and everyone, especially those who don't know you, right? And like also like the benefit of people who do know you. So those are three topics right there that we can just riff off of real quick. But the first one I would like to start off with, I mean, actually, you can start off with whichever one you want. Let's talk about your speaking. Let's talk about speaking first, because every single person here, you can benefit from getting on stage 100%. So like how can you share like 30 seconds or 60 seconds of your experience as a speaker, and then we can go into the benefits. Have you ever spoken on stage before?
Um, yeah. I've spoken on stage before, but the ones that I remember is it was all Thrive related, right? Like I don't remember going to an event outside of that and speaking. Maybe I did because I'm not really a shy person. And so it doesn't really scare me too much to go on stage or like to talk to people or just kind of like say something. I don't remember the last time I was on stage unthrive related. I'm pretty sure I have been. I just can't recall. Um, but for going on stage like this last few days, it was Monday. I the days are all like mixed up. There was so many things. So I was nervous though, like, and I think I had told a lot of you guys, like, I am so nervous and I made a lot of jokes to people. My deodorant did hold. I was telling people, I was like, I was like joking, but I'm like, I was so serious. I'm like, honestly, like, you know, may my deodorant be stronger than my perspiration because I do not know what's gonna happen with all like the lights just like shining in your face, right? Because I know some of you guys have been on stages before, and what happens when you're on stages, there's a bunch of lights shining at your face, and like the lights actually like heat you up. And if you're like nervous, you're gonna perspire. My deodorant did well. It's a natural one. So and I was like, I was even to the point where I was like, please don't throw up on stage. Please don't throw up on stage. Like, I was really nervous. And I think that I was super nervous because I was speaking in front of people that were like politicians, right? I was speaking in front of people that were influencers. I was speaking in front of people that are like the top at their game in their industries. And so this is not a crowd that I'm used to speaking in front of. So I was extremely uncomfortable. And I was asked to do it last year as well. And last year there was like Damon John, right? From the Shark. And what is that? Shark Tank, right? So he was on stage last year and A-Rod, the baseball player, was on. So I was like, why am I going to be on a stage like with them or like following after them? Like, I'm not doing it. Like, I was so scared. I was like, no way. But then I was just like, you know what? I need to start doing things that I'm uncomfortable with, the things that I'm scared of, because the more and more that I do it, the more and more I'm not going to be so scared of, right? Scared of these things. And so I just did it, and I did it scared. I did it uncomfortable. And I was like, I can't show up as a leader or someone who inspires others if I'm telling them, like, you guys got to do things uncomfortable. You guys got to do things scared, if I'm not pushing myself out of those limits either. So when I was offered the opportunity again, I was like, okay, like I will do it, like I'm not comfortable, but I'll figure it out. Luckily they gave me talking points. So if you guys ever are a speaker on Zooms, on stages, most of the time they'll give you talking points that you can go off of, and you can read it a bit just so you are a bit prepared. I probably read the questions 3 times and kind of like ran through what would happen if they asked me. I was on a panel with 3 other people, and it was fun. And then we were being moderated by a Vanderbilt. So I don't know if you guys know that name, but it is a very strong name in the US history. You guys probably read it in history books. And she was like an 8th descendant of the Vanderbilt family, which is the family that built the US railroads, right? So I'm just like, okay, like you're like more pressure is added, but I'll just figure it out. And I think on stage I fumbled too. I remember fumbling, and Shen has it on recording, and I was like, oh my God, that sentence doesn't even make sense. Like, I hope they didn't even catch that, and I'm just gonna keep on pushing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was excited, I was scared, I was nervous. Thank you, Eleni and Sana, for being there. You guys were in Vegas, and they were like sitting in the front row. So when I saw them, I was actually comforted, right? I was just like, okay, like I have friends here.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, so that you said you originally said no to like a speaking opportunity.
Yeah,
Uh
last year.
I yeah, I think that there's a lot of things that you talked about. Elaney, thank you for showing up and also driving us. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, so when it comes to speaking, like there's many different ways that, like your experience will be as a speaker, right? They may give you talking points, it just depends on the type of event, right? It really depends on the type of event. Like speaking on a Zoom call, it's I mean, it's really like no different, except for the fact that the energy
You
in
think
the
so?
maybe it's because like I'm just so used to like speaking, like it might be that,
I feel like it's easier. Like, like
on a Zoom call.
3 years ago, we did Zooms and there was like 200 people on. Can you guys believe that? There was like 200 people on the Zooms like 3 years ago, right? Where we were doing trainings and stuff every single freaking day.
I know what it
I felt
is.
it was more comfortable.
So for me, like I think it just depends. It's like this is what I can say. So I remember when the very first time I ever spoke on stage was for like a network marketing company, and it was because I got promoted to like the fifth rank of the company or whatever, and it was my very first time speaking in front of like 50 to 100 people in the room. I think it was like 50. I think it was yeah, it was a huge room in San Diego and a hotel event space. And my little brother is actually the one who introduced me on stage. So he edified me, and then I went on, and it's like what Jackie says. Like I basically blacked out on stage. And whatever came out of my mouth, it was horrible. It was horrible because my nervous system was just out of whack. I was not centered. I was not able to calm myself down. My energy was all over the place. And the reason why, as I reflect, is simply because I just didn't have enough repetitions. I didn't speak on stage as much as I am today. And so it's just about like building that confidence, building that consistency and that confidence, and just being able to just show up and understand, like, are you comfortable within yourself, right? Are you comfortable where you are at? Trisha says, bright lights are helpful. I was so nervous on the Hot Thrive Summer tour, but the bright lights blocked my view of all the people there, so that helped. That does help, that does help sometimes because when there's like a huge audience, or where there's like even right here right now, like the ring light, like this is a same exact thing. Like I can't even see Crystal walking back right here, but that also does help because it kind of blocks away everyone, from your viewpoint, and then you're able to really kind of focus on what you want to say, and you can take your time. When I was speaking on stage, like I was just going through the motions, like basically not being able to think, just rapid firing my thoughts. And that's something you don't want to do. But that just comes with practice. It comes with confidence. It comes with practice. It comes with repetition. It comes with you doing it over and over and over again. And so with Crystal for this past weekend, like she thinks that she didn't do like such a great job, but I have all the footage and I was in the audience. And for me, as a, just an observer, like she really did crush it. Like she crushed it. And that's one thing that I want to say is that you don't want to, like, the most important thing that you do is obviously do it first. Like actually, if you have an opportunity to speak, I highly encourage you to say yes. Okay. What the benefits of speaking on stage, there's too many to list off. But I guess top three, right? If you are an entrepreneur, right, you have a business, it's instant authority. Okay. Like right now, I'm speaking on stage. My hair is crazy, but because I'm speaking on stage, I have instant authority. Maybe, I don't know. But instant authority, okay, is one. You automatically, whatever you're speaking on stage about, it automatically positions you as an expert. Okay. It positions you as an expert on stage. So one of the things that Crystal was talking about on stage was how she's a mom and an entrepreneur, how she gets everything done as a mom, mompreneur, I guess. And so every other mom that's in the audience or that sees the content, if they see that she's speaking on stage and she's talking about being a mom and doing business, automatically in their viewpoint, they may see Crystal as an authority figure, right? They may see her as an authority figure, as an expert. Whatever you want to speak on stage about, whatever it is, whatever your message is, your credibility automatically boosts, it automatically increases just simply because of the stage. Okay, that's one benefit already, right? The second thing is you gain a new audience, you gain new connections, you expand your network simply because of the people that are in the room and the people that are seeing you on social media, right? If they see you on stage, they automatically assume, like, who is this person? How come they're on stage? Like, what do they do? How can they benefit me? Like, what are they offering? There's who do they know, right? How should I help them out? Like, how can I connect with them? There's all these different connections and questions that arise just by seeing someone on stage or being on stage, right? The third thing is you get to make more income. Why? It's simply because you now have an automatic bridge to other people, right? The way, like, most of the people, the way that they make money is because of other people, right? You're doing deals with other people, right? Other people pay you, or you pay other people to do business with, or they buy your products or services and vice versa, right? So if you automatically are on stage and you have the credibility, the expertise, the authority, you have the reach, you have the expansion of your network, you have all these different leverage points just by one thing, being on stage and sharing your message, then guess what? The chances of you converting a sale, it I don't even know the percentage of how much it increases. But literally, that's why there's a proven business model of people selling from the stage. It's simply because it hits all those benefits. Like it's everything I just listed. So again, like, there's many other byproducts of and benefits of being on stage, such as a new follower base, fans, connections, authority, instant credibility, like reach, all these things. And then not only that, but what are the opportunities that you now have after being on stage, right? Before, during, and after. After being on stage, it's again more connections, more speaking opportunities, because now you are known as a speaker. Every single person in the room that saw Crystal on stage, they now in their mind, they're like, oh, she's a speaker.
Yeah.
She's a speaker. It's like that. And then now you get questions like, oh, are you going to be speaking at this event? Or are you coming to this event? Or are you going to be at this event? Or,
Yeah, that's what I experienced afterwards. Like there was a lot of people either coming up to me in person or they were DMing me. And there was even like this random podcaster and he has 11 million followers, and his assistant, or I don't know who, messaged me and was like, hey, are you going to be out in Vegas during this time? Because I'm having like a private networking event. So I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Like I didn't really expect that.
there's just so many like things. There's so many benefits from being on stage, from getting yourself on stage, or from being invited like to speak on stage. Even if it's 5 minutes of you being on stage, even if it's 60 seconds, right? No matter what you do, if you've never been on stage before, I encourage you to get on stage. It's just going to
Yeah.
benefit you, especially if you're building a business, if you're building your personal brand. Everyone everyone is going to be talking about personal branding. Okay, it's just the next like stage. Okay, there's gonna all your friends who don't even do business, they're gonna want to start to build their personal brand. There's people who like sell on Amazon, like Amazon affiliates. They build a personal brand of selling products, right? Like they'll sell this chapstick on Amazon. It's like that. Like that, there's gonna be so many people selling from their personal brand. And guess what? One of the biggest, in my opinion, one of the foundations of this entire personal branding movement is also because of network marketing. It's because of MLM. It's simply because, like, who do you trust? Who do you buy from? Right? It goes back to those examples of, hey, like, where did you get that food from? Or did you watch this movie? Or, like, did you like this place that you went to? Or should I take my family and my friends over there? Like, where, you're getting recommendations from your friends, the people that you know, like, and trust. So every single person is going to be who wants to like build their personal brand, they're going to be doing that. And that's like the wave. That's like what's going to be happening. And one of the fastest ways to differentiate yourself is stand out, right? How do you stand out in a crowd when everyone is trying to do the same exact thing? Well, what's the advantages that you can like get for yourself? Become a speaker, right? Get yourself on stage, differentiate yourself already from the crowd, right? Yes, that's why I forced myself to do locals. It was torture, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. And
Great
then you just
job.
get used to it, right, Carla? Like you get used to it, and then pretty soon you're like, I can do this like the back of my hand.
Mhm.
And then you start going on other stages or start going to other networking events like outside, right? To make new connections, meet new people, and like talk about other things. But yeah,
Yeah, and then not only that, right? Like just because you're a speaker at an event, do you think that there's other speakers at events? Are there other
yeah,
if you're attending an event and you're a speaker there, how many other speakers are there at the event? Guess what? All those other speakers that show up and that are speaking on stage, they also have the exact same credibility as you because you guys all shared the same stage. How much more authority, how much more network reach, how much more like just social proof, how much more of everything do you now get? Do you
yeah,
now gain just from being a speaker, right? There's too many. There's too many benefits. So that's why I'm saying like, and that's why this is one of the topics is just if you have the opportunity to get yourself on stage, to speak in front of an audience, to speak in front of a crowd, it's one of the I guess it's the number one fastest way to instantly increase your credibility simply by being on stage speaking in front of an audience. Okay. That's one. And then the network effect. If you are speaking, again, your network automatically expands. And then you just have to show up, make the connection. They'll come to you, but you make the connection, build that relationship, right? You never know what can come from those relationships. And then not only that, but the relationships with the other speakers.
yeah,
If other speakers are speaking on stage, chances are they have other speaking opportunities.
yeah,
Chances are that might be a bridge for you to get on stage again.
yeah. Like that one
Huge.
guy. There was one guy and he's like, hey, I get asked to do speaking events all the time. He's like, next time I get asked to do something and it aligns with what you talk about, he's like, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna ask you if you want to participate and I'll connect you. And so I thought that was really sweet of him.
There's so many. Like there's when I was speaking on stages like 2019 or whatever, and on podcasts, same exact thing. Because other people see me as a speaker. Other people see me as, oh, he gets on podcasts, right? Like there's all these different like everything is lined up simply because that's your identity and that's what people see you as. So it's only natural. It's natural that's going to happen. Now, this is where I want everyone, or I encourage everyone to be intentional, right? Because there's going to be a moment in time, right? It's before, during, and after. Okay, before you were a speaker, during your process of being a speaker, and after you've been speaking for so many times, right? In the after process, because most people are going to be like knowing who you are, they're going to be seeing like your brand is being built, all these things. You want to be very intentional with your time and your energy, and you want to be intentional with, where are you going to speak, who is in the audience,
Yeah.
and it just depends on like your industry, it depends on like your intentions, depends on your goals and dreams. But if you're on the wave of building your personal brand and you have opportunity to speak, then in my opinion, I encourage you to just speak as much as you can. Just keep on saying yes, right? Keep on saying yes until it doesn't make sense. Okay. Just simply because you just never know who you're going to connect with. That's it. Locals are a great opportunity. You get to be around the crowd you're comfortable with first. Yes. Wow. That's good.
I 100% agree with that because
Yeah.
it's because of locals that I slowly but surely started building my confidence, right? Because most of us, I want to say, we're not used to speaking in front of crowds. We're not used to speaking like in person. It's just usually with people that we're comfortable with in our home, outside our home. So when you guys are out there doing locals, like you'll see, we're always like, hey, who wants to speak? Who wants to speak? Who's speaking? And it's amazing being able to see all of you guys really step up and do it scared, right? And so as you guys keep doing it over and over and over again, you're going to get much better at it, right? And you're going to gain confidence. So when you go out networking, you're in different groups, you're in different networking events, you're going to get used to speaking to people or speaking to strangers simply because you've built that confidence to be able to speak in front of a bunch of people, right? Just from the locals and sharing your story and kind of explaining things
Mhm.
that when you actually talk to someone one-on-one outside of this network and in a new community, maybe in like probably a different subject, right? Or something that you're passionate about, you're going to have the confidence to talk to that person too. And when you have confidence, when you're talking to people, um, you know, it's easier to build like a relationship or a connection with, and you just got to keep doing it until you get comfortable with it.
Yeah. And not only that, like, let's say, for example, if you really don't like with Crystal, like she's introverted, right? She doesn't really like to socialize unless she wants to. Um, so especially when, like, let's say, for example, like your intentions to network, right? How do you network with other people when you don't want to network with them, or when you don't want to network in general, right? Well, here's the beauty of being a speaker, okay? The people who want to connect with you, they will go to you. It's that simple. It's that
Yeah.
simple, okay? And so it's just like having a conversation. It's the same exact thing. Like you don't have to put more energy out. You don't have to exert more energy. Like you just gotta just be you. That's it. Like everything that we do on Fire Hour, it's just to build the best project ever, which is you. Once you start to build yourself and you start to just get out there, it's going to be exactly the same exact thing. Rinse and repeat. Just talking to other people, connecting. It's a very fun experience because it's unique. If you are someone who loves variety, okay, the spice of life, then guess what? You should be a speaker. Why? It's because you're going to just have a unique experience of people coming to you, of people wanting to take pictures with you, of people asking you questions. They're asking you for advice. Like they want to be your friend. They want to help you out. Like there's many ways, right? There's so many things. There's so much variety with just being a speaker. Well, guess what? Like, who are you going to connect with? There's sometimes you're going to meet someone who you may become best friends with just because you showed up, right? You showed up and you showed out, right? So Angela says, any opportunity to talk, stories, lives, locals, events, any opportunity, you can just do it. Yes.
Yep. And I feel like Zooms are really easy too. Like you can even start with a friend that you're comfortable with and be like, hey, I want to start speaking. I want to be more confident when I talk to people. I'm comfortable with you. Can we hop on a Zoom and turn on your video and like talk to each other, right? Or it's like FaceTime, and then start to build from that group of friends that are like going after the same thing, wanting to build confidence, and like keep Zooming with each other, or do like Instagram lives or talk on your stories, just whatever, anytime you can. And the thing is, like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You might not be perfect, but that's part of the process. Like, I literally fumbled on stage, but I caught myself and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, she actually, I don't know if you caught yourself, but
I did. And then I was like, oh, I better keep going on and on. And then you showed me the video, and I remembered that was the part around the time that I fumbled. But I was just like, you know what? I smiled confidently and I like kept it pushing. And so then I was like, oh, whatever.
yeah, actually, like it's when you listen to it, like it makes sense. Like it's literally just a conversation again. Like just even though she did fumble, like she fumbled her words on stage.
Yeah.
But if you were in the audience and you were listening to what she was talking about, it would make sense. So it doesn't matter, It really does not matter. Like if you mess up on stage, like who cares? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
who cares? There's gonna and here's the beauty of that. Like what if someone like record that, or you have a videographer, or you recorded it, whatever, and then you post it and then it goes viral on like whatever, you know like all the reach that you get is going to be good reach anyways.
Yeah.
So
I was just like,
yeah.
post edit. In my mind, I'm like, should we post edit it?
No, and then when I did edit, I have it. I edited the video and I'm like, there's no way I can edit this. Like it's a fumble. Like I'm putting it in the video because it only makes sense to do it. Like
I'm just gonna make it part of content.
yeah, and without that, and actually without that clip, it won't make sense. So that's why I was like, there's no way I can edit this. Like it just is what it is. And guess what? That's good. It's good because guess what? What does that do for everyone else who's scared to like fumble on stage?
Yeah.
It gives them like the proof that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like it's totally fine. I've fumbled on stage so many times, right? One of the very first speaking gigs that I did after like I was out of network marketing in 2018, it was overnight. Like I had an opportunity to speak at a mastermind event, all right, in front of like I forget, like an inner circle. And those people, like it's just a bunch of young entrepreneurs like looking to like crush it online and crush it with their businesses. But I remember getting a last minute invite to speak. It was my very first time, and this was after I made a decision to build my personal brand in 2018. And so I showed up and then I just blacked out on stage. And literally like everything I was saying, it's like I don't even know what the heck I was talking about. It was just flowing out. But it's just, like when I look back at it, I'm like, wow, I should not speak that fast because it's horrible. It's like no one can learn anything. Like it makes me look bad. And then not only that, but there was no value added to anyone, right? Because I was just speaking too fast. Right. That was my experience. However, I still connected with all these other people. Like everyone that was there, like I have a lifelong friend because of that event, because there was another speaker there and like he's a really good guy. His name is Ari. And guess what? He's been like we've been friends since then, right? And I did horrible on stage, yet I connected with someone else who's a good friend now, right? So it doesn't matter if you mess up. It really doesn't. People are not going to care. Like it in the moment they may, but who cares? Again,
Yeah, I feel like your people will find you. Like the people who still valued what you said over any little mistakes that you make is still gonna be there, right? Like I had a mom and she was a lady in the audience. She's a realtor, she's a mom, and she was like, thank you so much for talking about how you're a mom first and how you schedule your kids in and how important it is for you to be able to spend time with your family. She goes, I once got fired from a client because I had to put my kids first. And so she's like, I really appreciate the fact that you went on stage, like on an entrepreneurial panel with everybody, and you spoke about that because that's my belief. So, little things like that, people will come up to you and they'll give you feedback. And so I was like, wow, that's so cool, because in the beginning, I'm just like, yeah, like I'm a mom and I like do business, but I never thought so much. Well, I did and I didn't, right? Like being a mom, if most of you guys know, it's more than a full-time job, right? Like it's more than a full-time job and you're not compensated in the way that is necessarily going to help with survival, right? But no matter what, you have to do it, right? Like you have no choice. And so I didn't know I did, and I didn't know how important it would be, especially for an audience of that caliber with people of that caliber, because there was also politicians there, right? So RFK Jr. was there and he spoke on stage like shortly after like our panel went up. So I'm like to be on the same stage as a presidential candidate and like these influencers or like business people, it's like it's something else. I definitely felt a bit out of place, but I was just like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it scared and I will have something to offer someone out there, and I don't know what it is, but it's not important for me to think or care too much about what other people are going to think. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And do I think that I can add value? Probably somewhere, somehow, but
yeah. And you
yeah.
know what? Like there's two things that I want to touch up on that. Like everyone can add value. You have value. You have unique life experiences that can add value to someone's life. So never discredit yourself. Never discredit yourself. Never discredit your story. Never discredit your life experience. Okay? Like you have lived life and every moment that you have in your life, it's valuable. 100%. There may be something, there may be a lesson, an experience. There may be something that you say to someone that changes their life. Okay. That's true. 100%. I truly believe that. I truly believe that every single one of us here has something to offer to someone that's valuable, no matter what, no matter whoever is in the room. That's the second thing is regardless of who's in the room, right? Don't compare yourself to them. The reason for that is because they're a completely different individual. They're a unique individual doing their own journey, doing their own life journey. You are a unique individual doing your own life journey as well. They're walking their path, you're walking your path. Always, if you're going to compare yourself to anyone, always compare yourself to who you were yesterday, right? Or like on last Fire Hour training, compare yourself to your future self, to the future version of who you want to become, who you aspire to be, who you aspire to live, right? That's what it is. Okay? So like, yes, it was really great. It was a great opportunity for Crystal to share the stage with people who have historic last names and people who are, doing amazing things in the world. But again, like you also are amazing.
Thank you. You're biased.
And this is coming from an unbiased opinion. Boom. That's the rebuttal right there. You see that? Jackie said for that clip, do a voiceover with a walking clip to fill it in, or a lifestyle clip. I thought about that, but it didn't work. Yep, you're just being humble. But realistically, on paper, in real life, if you really compared it and gave yourself credit, you would be like, oh my God, I do belong here. This is just the first time I'm getting to do this. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's true for
Fresh.
everybody. That's really true for everyone. I think sometimes we're on go mode that we don't stop and we don't slow down. And if not given the opportunity and if not asked the questions, we don't think of all the accomplishments that we've done in life. We don't think of all the things the hard things that we've done. And during those hard moments, we're like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know what's going to happen, but you always end up figuring it out and doing the hard things. And we're just always on like go, 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 that we forget to look back and to like pat ourselves on the back and say, I did do that. I did do that hard thing. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I did do it. So take the time today to appreciate yourselves for everything you guys have done in your life, and recognize that there's so many things that you've already done that maybe you don't even know about. But if you take that time to self-reflect and just, talk about how proud you are of yourself for overcoming certain things, take that moment to, right? Like tomorrow's Thanksgiving. What are you grateful for? And remember to also express gratitude to yourself, right? To give yourself a lot of grace and have gratitude for yourself for the things that you've done, because we're always looking at other people and like thinking, wow, they're so great. They did this and they did that. And that's so, awesome. But when's the last time you actually slow down to ask yourself like what you've done that you're proud of and that you're grateful for? So 'tis the season.
And that should be the season every day. That's something that I'm going to be working on. It's like to have grace for myself and to be intentional with my energy. And this is just, it's as I become more aware, like self-aware, like how can I improve? How can I get closer to my future version that I want to be, right? How can I provide more value to you guys? How can I grow faster so that way I can benefit you all, right?
Yeah.
These are the things I think about, right? Because it's just, if we're speaking here, and this is something that, like, to touch up on when you're saying, like, what are you grateful for? Like, for me, as I reflect back, like, from when we first started this, like in 2020, like, why I'm able to, like, do this? Like, my hair is a mess, but it's because of you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's simply because, like, you all have given me the space to grow and to develop in my own skin. You have all given me the space and the love and the support and just your time, your energy to show up on these Zoom trainings, on these calls, and allow me to be who I am, right? In 2020, like, for those who have been here since 2020, like, you see me, like, my hair is freaking crazy back then, or like I'm like stumbling over my words, or I'm yelling at the top of my lung, or I'm rapping, like I did a rapping one, something like,
I don't remember the rapping one. I just remembered
because it was not a good rap.
I just remembered the yelling because I was sitting right next to you. So I'd always be like, oh my gosh, this guy's so loud.
I know, but I was pouring my energy and my heart and soul into you guys. So.
And then the kids would always come down like, you're crazy. You're yelling every morning. You weren't trying to sleep. What's the matter with you?
I know, that was wild. That was so much energy.
It was good though. I think everyone enjoyed it because I feel like deep down inside of us, there's something or someone that's always wanting to like break out and be free and be in a childlike state of mind where we're like, I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm doing whatever. I'm with my friends. We're going to scream. We're going to yell. We're going to say crazy things. And so I think that there is that child inside of all of us. Yeah. And we just have to let that child out more to play in order to kind of just like take life easy, like life is already going to be difficult. So why make it more difficult? Like, just remember when you were a child and have that childlike state of mentality where every day is a fun day and every day there's an adventure. You really don't know what's going to happen,
Exactly. Every single day is an adventure. Like, there's an adventure to be explored. So explore it. Yeah, this is gonna be really, really good. Nico says stacking gratitude every day. Made the reel the other day. What are you proud about yourself about? Who do you appreciate? What small things can you appreciate? the clouds, the sun, etc. That's so true, right? That's so true. All the little things. Like I'm so grateful for this hoodie so I can cover my hair.
I think this is
It's
the
really
first
true.
time you've come on with a hoodie on your hair.
Well, it's okay. It just is what it is. Angela says she loves it. Yeah, like you have that childlike mentality, right? Of you just being free. Like you can free yourself. If you feel like you need to take yourself seriously, trust me. Like you don't,
Yeah.
okay? Like you really don't. Like life, it's like what you said. Like, and this is what Jim Rohn says. Jim Rohn says, like, life is serious. That's what he says. Take it seriously. Like there are times when you want to be serious. There are times when you need to be serious. There are times when you have to be serious, right? But you get to choose those times. Like everything is always in your power, in your control. You decide what path you want to walk on. You decide how your day is going to be today, right? Let's do it for today, right? What day do you want to have today? Regardless of everything that you have to face, because this is the beginning of the day, right? You can set the tone for your day. You decide if you want to take it seriously or if you want to play, right? How do you want to do that? Or you can even play seriously, like what do you want to do? Ryan says, like En Vogue saying, free your mind and the rest will follow. Wow. Yeah, that's true. Free your mind. Like that right there. How can you use these different frameworks like to empower yourself? So we covered speaking, right? The benefits. You shared a little bit about your story and your experience. Would you like to do more speaking gigs?
I would like to get better at it. So in order to get better at something that you feel you're not the greatest at, which is okay, you have to do more of it. So yes, I want to get better. And so in order for me to get better, I'm going to have to keep putting myself in those situations where I don't feel the most comfortable, but I kind of keep doing it until I get really good at it. So yeah.
Okay. Second thing is networking, right? Like you got a chance to connect with so many different people
Yeah.
by being in the room, by showing up in person. Second thing is by obviously, if you have the opportunity to be a speaker, you're showing up on stage, which just expands your reach, your potential reach. That's literally what it does. Okay. Like you can show up to an event and the way that you network, that's based on your skill set. It's based on your networking skill, your connection skill, right? And your intentions. But you can connect with just so many people if you're doing one-to-one, or if you are a really great networker, you'll know how to like work a room for sure. And there's ways to do that, obviously. But I'm just gonna keep it very simple. Like if you show up to an event, you're not a speaker at an event, you'll only network like to a certain degree based on your skill set, based on the opportunities that are presented to you and that you create. The second one, though, is if you're a speaker, you just basically whatever you did, you widen your opportunity to connect, right? It's also based on your personal brand. It's based on who knows you. Like if you show up in a room that people know you, they will connect you with other people simply because they probably have been following you. They may or may not know something about you that they think that they'll make an assumption. They'll want to connect you with someone. Like there's so many different ways that it does. But for you, because you were a speaker, like how many opportunities did you have like for networking?
I would say a lot. I remember the first night that we went there, I was just like trying to duck in and I was like, I just want to eat dinner. I'm starving. Like we just traveled. We haven't ate yet. And so I was just trying to hide. I was trying to hide and just like sit at a table and I like started eating my salad. Like if you guys know me, you'll find me where the food is. And so I went and I started eating and then like our friend who hosted the conference, like he hosted the entire conference, right? Like so his face was plastered all over the hotel because his friend owns the hotel. And so he started announcing me. He's like, I met this girl because she sells vitamins called Thrive, da 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 da. So he started talking about network marketing. He started talking about Thrive. He started talking about vitamins. And mind you, this is a room full of, at least that night was 200, 300 people. And they're all like, they're well off. Like they're made, they're politicians, they're celebrities, they're influencers.
Billionaires.
And I was just like, oh my God. Like I swear my face just like turned white in that moment. And I was like, I have to stop eating now because if he makes me go up there or say something or stand, like I'm gonna have like, food all over my mouth. And so I was just like, okay. And he's like right there, and then like the lights point at me and I'm just like, and I just like stood up and I just like waved hi to everyone, So he's like, so if you guys want to make money or you guys want to talk to her about something, like go up to her. And so I think that that was an amazing opportunity to be able to get more eyeballs, right? And that's what you need. If you're selling a service and you're selling a product, believe it or not, like you need eyeballs and you need a lot of them, whether it's social media and in person, it's everything all at once, right? Because in person is also a chance for people to get to know you, to talk to you, to connect to you.
That's the
And
best chance.
so, yeah, so because his face is plastered all over the walls and he edified me, right? So now that gave me more opportunities to be like, this is what I do. Like I also like own a couple businesses and da 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 da. And so that was like a really great opportunity to be able to get myself out there, regardless of what happens or what doesn't happen, right? Like it's kind of just the beginning of opportunities.
Yeah. And then let me ask you guys a question, right? What does that shout out represent or symbolize or remind you of? It's a three-way right there, right? It's a three-way phone call. It's a three-way, it's an edification triangle. Like that right there. If someone, especially like the host or the owner or another speaker, someone of authority, right, in the room, they shout you out. That is, I call it status transfers in high status networking. I call it a status transfer. So they're transferring their high status to you, which gives you instant credibility,
Yeah.
instant authority, instant reach, right? There's too many benefits to list, but that's what it does. And so in those moments, right, when that happens, like you automatically have increased all your benefits, like the potential benefits that you can receive just by being in the room and being shouted out. Okay. So that right there, again, like this is why it's important to show up to events in person and to also be known and to also build your personal brand and to like make connections with people who may or may not, be able to provide a platform for you, etc. Right. Jackie says, how did you meet Todd? Can you share?
But to finish off what you were saying, okay, so there's this guy on YouTube and he has almost 1 million subscribers and he does real estate, right? He's really loud. He was there too at the event. Ben Mala, really, really cool guy, him and his wife and his son.
Yeah.
And so, and the security guard and his media team. And
Yeah.
so,
All cool.
so like Sean had showed me him before, like a few years ago. He's like, check this guy out. Look at his YouTube. He like has such a big personality. He's so cool. Like,
I
you know,
even
like
showed Todd in 2019.
yeah,
I showed Todd and his entire team. I said, you guys should be doing content like Ben
like
Mala.
this.
In 2019.
Yeah.
I was the first person to show him.
Yeah. And so he showed me that guy and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then when we found out he was going to be there, I was like, oh my goodness, like this guy that I always watch that is like really like he's crushing it in real estate, right? He owns $500 million in real estate. And so I'm just like, I'm going to go talk to him, And so like I asked, we had like one of our friends who works there and he was like pretty much like taking care of us the whole time. And so I was like, oh, I want to meet that guy, And so he walked us up and like I met him, I met his wife, his son, like his team. And, I was just talking, like, saying hi, taking a photo and stuff. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, you seem like you do pretty well. I'm like, yeah, I do. Okay. He's like, yeah, not the way Todd was edifying you, like the way he introduced you and spoke about you. He's like, it says a lot and like you must be doing really well, And so because of that, like I like automatically was put in a different place, right?
Exactly.
And how I met Todd through Jeff, right? So if you guys don't know Jeff, he is our partner at Star Motorworks. And I've known Jeff since I was 12 in elementary school. And so your whole life is relationships, your whole life is networking. And I reconnected with Jeff because I started thriving, right? So I was like, well, I guess I have to start talking to people now because I'm a thriver. I'm a network marketer. I need to build relationships regardless of what's going to happen or not happen, right? Like this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm up to. And if they're interested, they're interested. If they're not interested, do you know someone that's interested maybe, right? Like always ask. Like it never hurts to ask, but also add value where you can. What is this person doing? What are they looking for? What business are they in? How can you add value back? Because it's not just about you and what you want and what your motives are. It's about the other person on the other side. How can you help them? How can you connect them to someone else? And so I reconnected with Jeff because I'm like, I'm a network marketer now. I got to go talk to people. I don't like talking to people, but I have to talk to people. So I kept doing the things that were uncomfortable for me and getting out there. And so I reconnected with Jeff. We started talking like, hey, what are you up to? Whatever, whatever. And then it came to the point where, like at the time, Jeff was working for Todd. He's like, I work for a venture capitalist and he owns a lot of businesses and he's managing over hundreds of millions of dollars in assets. Like, you should meet my boss. Maybe you might want to invest. And so I met Todd as an investor, right? And so when I first met him, we were talking. He's like, what do you do? And I straight up told him, I'm like, hey, like I used to own a mortgage lending company. I'm an entrepreneur, but lately, like what I've been doing, like this is my passion. Like I thrive. I love it. And he's like, okay, it's network marketing. And I'm like, yeah, it is. He's like, yeah, I started a network marketing company before, right? Like people with money, they understand this business. They understand everything. They understand money, right? And so I'm just like, if more people knew like how network marketing is actually looked at from people that are of a substantial wealth point, they're going to be like, oh my goodness, right? Like it really opens up your eyes. And so I met Todd through Jeff. And so I became an investor in his company. And like, this is the funny story. Like, this is how I found out like that I was,
Accidental.
this is how I found out I was an accidental millionaire, right? Because he's like, okay, if you want to invest in my company, like I'm going to have people send you paperwork. You have to fill it out. And it was almost like a loan application. I'm like, I have to like fill out my income. I have to fill out my assets. I have to like show them everything that I have, right? And I wasn't really used to showing everything. I only show enough to buy a house, right? But I don't show everything. But I was like, okay. So I started showing things. And as I started calculating it, I was like, oh my God, like I'm a millionaire. Like, and I had no idea. So I like was like, I'm an accidental millionaire because I had no idea, right? So it's a crazy story. But I did pitch him. The first day I met him, I was like, I don't care if you're a freaking multimillionaire and you manage hundreds of millions of dollars in businesses. Like, I'm confident in what I do and what this product does. I do not care. Like, I'm gonna pitch. I pitched, he gave me his credit card. I signed him up on the spot on the first day I met him. And yeah.
And then just to add on to that, right? Like again, because this is why I learned in 2013 when I first got started in the network marketing industry. My mentors back then, they said that the people who are wealthy get it, right? They'll get it faster than the people who don't have that type of mindset.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like here's a takeaway for everyone, right? Network marketing is a legit industry. And so the people who bash on it, it's simply because they literally are just not educated. It's that simple. And also it may be because they're just not business minded, right? So it's not for them. And then until maybe one day like it is for them, and then they start to get educated and they start to learn it. But it's just at the end of the day, the perspective that I want you to take away from this, right? The golden nugget is if you look at network marketing just as a business, right? Because it is a business. You take away all the other emotions and all the noise. Guess what? Now you're looking at logically and analytically as, all right, is this a business? Okay, is this a good investment to make? And I'm not talking about money wise. I'm talking about your time, your energy. Is this beneficial like to people? Is this a valuable product or service to someone, right? And as you look at that, you start to see like as a business owner, you start to see as an entrepreneur, you start to see as an investor, a mindset of what other opportunities are out there? What other opportunities are there for me to take advantage of? Like as an investor, is this going to be worth my time? Is this going to be worth my energy? Is this going to be worth in the future? Like, what is it? Right. So you start to look at different opportunities, not just like just because it has network marketing as a label doesn't mean anything to me. I look at Thrive as, oh, okay, this is a business. Okay, what's the business model? Okay, is it a valuable business model? Is it a valuable product or service that is being offered? Is it going to benefit other people? Is it going to benefit people I love and care about? I ask all these questions because I am a business owner. I am an entrepreneur. I have a business mind. So guess what? Why am I gonna allow all these other emotions or the the setbacks of other people's opinions or whatever that may be, right, get in my way of pursuing my goals and dreams?
Yeah.
I'm not, right? So that's the takeaway is there's people who are wealthy that understand the business model, the business side of this industry. And they just look at it as a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. So they look at it and evaluate it as a business. They don't care about other people's emotions or other people's opinions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So you shouldn't either. Right? Just because your best friend or your friend or your closest family, whatever, doesn't think that it's a legit business model means nothing to me. Okay? It means nothing to me. If they support you or don't, it doesn't matter. Look at it from a business standpoint. Right? Look at it look at everything that you do or that you invest in or you buy, etc., as a business, right? There's so many, everything on this table right now is a business, is a product. Okay. This mic is a product. Is this a good business model to invest in? Who knows, right? But I would say yes, because of the trajectory of social media and personal branding. But again, right, it just depends on what you value and what you think is going to be valuable to the market.
Yeah. And then also have confidence in yourself, in what you have, in what you're doing, right? Because people are always going to have opinions about you. Like people have opinions about me, and I'm like, great, but I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. I'm not afraid of sharing this. I don't care, And so I shared it. He bought it, he hit promote, and then he started telling people hey, I met this girl, she does this, you should buy it, you should buy it. So every time I would go anywhere with him and he said that, I would just start collecting credit cards, right? Because everyone listens to him. So it's here you have a person who has seen different industries, but at the end of the day, this is a business, this is a product, this is a product that works, right? You don't like what Twin said, she signed people and they said that they'll try it. You don't have to convince them, but you have to have that confidence in yourself. And if they reject you or they say something bad, it's okay, great, who's next, okay, bye. Okay, so you just said no, that just means no, not for now. Okay, bye.
It just means that it's not for them, right? That's it.
I always think not now.
Yeah,
I'm
not now.
I'll
Yeah,
ask 5 more times.
that's fine. Yeah, that's part of sales, right? That's a sales skill now, right? That's that's the intangible and tangible side of things, right? So, but yeah, you just again, you never know who your product or service is going to be for. You never know who's going to value whatever you have to offer. You never know who's going to value your message. You never know who's going to value your story, your life experience. You just never know. Regardless of their status in the world, their social status or their wealth status or any type of status, for them, people are selfish because that's just human nature. So they're always thinking, what's in it for me? Right? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? If you can always think like that, if you're selling a product or service, what's in it for the client? What's in it? What's in it for their best interests? Then you can match the value and actually provide an option. And then if they say, oh, this aligns with me because this is in my best interest, this is something I really want, this is something that's going to help me, it's going to benefit my life. Okay, I'll buy it. Boom. Right? You just never know people's intentions, but at the end of the day, just keep it very simple. It's just if this product or service is something that they want, then guess what? They'll buy it. If not, if they don't have the money right now, then they'll buy it later on, etc. Right? That's where the follow-up game happens. That's where the 7-stage flow happens. That's where all these different, sales things happen. Okay. So yeah, that was good, right? And I'm like Jackie, that was the story, right? That was the story that she shared. That's how how they met, and then that's how I met Crystal, right?
Yeah, that's how I also met you as well.
Yeah.
Through Jeff. And guess what? Jeff used to do network marketing. So as you guys start to network with people, you're going to see that some of the best networkers and people that own their own businesses, they actually were a part of network marketing before, or tried it out, or tried a product, or heard about it before. And that's what I've discovered along the way, because when I open up about what I do, they're just oh, yeah, I used to do that, or I used to try it. You guys would be very, very surprised to see how many amazing networkers out there have a network marketing background.
I mean, look, I wish I owned this product right here. You see this? I wish I owned it. Well, guess what? I didn't. I don't, which sucks. But okay. It's like that. It's just a business. If Crystal didn't do this, what connection, bridge, or impact would be had? Oh, that's a question for you. We can probably end the call with this. Like, what
Didn't do it.
if you didn't? So if like she didn't speak on stage, is that what you're saying? Let's get clarity on the question.
Or if I didn't say anything about Thrive and I was just like, I'm an entrepreneur, I've done this business, that business, and kept it out.
How come it's not letting me do it? I'm trying right now.
I wonder if you click on her.
What the heck? How come it's not letting me? I'm trying to unmute.
Does she show up in the video? Maybe from the video.
Yeah, let me
if
find you in the
she
video.
Shows that. Do you have your camera on?
There.
Maybe if you turn on your camera,
Oh.
like we can unmute. Yeah, there.
Test.
I'll turn on my camera just for you guys. Good morning,
Yay!
guys.
Because you look so
No.
snuggly.
Yes, I'm still here, but I've been awake the whole time and thriving. No, what I was saying was that like, okay, like Crystal, when she met all of these individuals, right? Like if she was just, back just doing mortgages or like just being an entrepreneur and doing like other things, she probably wouldn't have been as open of like, hey, this is what I do, right? Because she was trying to get them on Thrive is what I was trying to say. So
Yeah.
like even like reconnecting with her old friend from like when she was 12, you know what I mean? Like what connection or bridge would have been had? It just been like, oh, this is what I've been doing,
Yeah.
this is what I've been doing. But because she was, doing Thrive and she was really excited about something and she had something to offer them, right? Like if she had just been doing like mortgages or whatever I mean, Crystal had like 5 businesses at this time, but what would she have had to offer all these people when they're in completely different like spaces or like things, you know what I mean? And being an entrepreneur, like even for myself, you guys, if you guys know what I did before Thrive, I actually had a vape lab, made 200 flavors. How could I have impacted somebody's life doing vapes? Right?
Yep.
I couldn't. I couldn't. I didn't have anything to bring to the table to my other friends who were in all these other spaces, right? But with health and wellness, we have that. And like even like for Crystal, like being in network marketing, she had that to even say like, oh, it's a network marketing thing. Like, yes, Jeff's like, I did network marketing, right? Todd's like, I had a network marketing company, right? There's a bridge there. So we have a bridge, you guys, that is so widely like it's out there. You know what I mean? You guys just have to like cross that bridge when it comes to like networking with people. But that's all I want to say.
Yes, thank you. That's very powerful. It's so true what you say, because it's like I was in mortgages before, right? And other financial businesses, but it's like not everyone is going to need my service, but is everyone going to need to take vitamins? Does everyone care about their health to some degree? Like, do you want to manage your weight, whether it's losing or gaining? Do you want to feel good? Do you want more energy? Like, who doesn't, right? Like, we have something that's for everyone, regardless of what industry they're in. And had I just been like in my other businesses, it's like, who needs a mortgage today? Who needs a house? Or like, who needs a credit card processing? Because that was another business I was doing. And so with Thrive, it's like everyone could use vitamins, like everyone can get healthier. And so there's so many connections that you're able to make, but also have the confidence in what we have here and your community and what it's done for you and how it can help someone else. It's like, we're not always just, if someone needs extra cash, there's the opportunity. If someone's like, I'm good, I need energy, then take the vitamins. Like, we have something for everyone. And because we have something for everyone, there's so many connections and so many people you can talk to, right? That's huge.
Such a good point right there. Like Jackie, like that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Because that right there, it's like you have a bridge to so many people because your total addressable market is everyone essentially, right? Health and wellness is one of the top industries to be a part of. And that's why you are able to like connect with so many people, right? You have the opportunity and potential to connect with so many people simply because at the end of the day, like we still have like, we have human bodies, right? We get sick sometimes, or we get healthy, or we want to work on our health, etc. So like, what do you have to offer to those people who want that, right? Who are interested in that right now, who are interested in health, in wellness, in improving their life, in improving their body, and improving their mental, improving everything, right? Who do you know that needs that? And how can you connect with them? How can you get your message in front of them? One of the ways is obviously social media. One of the ways is speaking on stage. One of the ways is, connecting with other people, is making friends, is talking to family. It's connection. It's connections, building those relationships and showing up and showing out, right? So that was a great question, Jackie. I think that I need to go get the baby. So
she's
we gotta
calling
wrap
you.
up.
She's like, Dad,
I know. So, go ahead.
where are you going? We're wrapping up.
What? I gotta
We're-
her.
Yeah, we're wrapping up. Bye, guys. It's
Okay.
7. It's past 7. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Wait,
Yes.
one last thing. Verge says one vessel can lead to others. We are all interconnected. What value can you bring to someone's life? We have the ultimate product service. If you don't have health, you cannot have true wealth.
Yeah.
People won't know what you have to offer if you don't show up. Yes.
Yes.
Great way to end the call.
Thank you.
Love
We
you
guys.
all.
Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time.
Happy Thanksgiving. Love you all. Thank you for showing up for us. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And thank you for showing up for all those you love. Keep on crushing it. Let's go. All right. Dominate your path. Have an amazing holiday. And we'll see you all next time. Okay. Take care.
Bye. Love you guys.
Love you all.